How important has it been for your success, do you think, being like your relationship?
Everything, especially when you start actually carrying yourself like a man and being the husband that you know your wife deserves. Like that's part of going to do the work on yourself, right? You going to do the work and you know, can't no other woman get your eye, right?
Have you been able to be honest about that?
Absolutely, 100%. Like I feel like, anything real, can't be threatened. And I think that if you really want a healthy relationship, you gotta be honest about your bullshit, right? Like you gotta be honest about all the bullshit that you've done, especially if you already got caught. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have a choice.
And by the way, if you get caught, you might as well just put it all out there because you don't want nothing. You don't want nothing that's rooted in a lie. Because anything that's rooted in a lie, it can't grow. So yes, I've been absolutely, completely, 100% honest, and I can tell guys out there this, man. And I've said this a million times, and I'll say it a million more. You remember in Color Purple when Celie pointed her finger and said, "Ain't no good gonna come to you until you do right by me." The opposite of that is 100% true. If you do right by your wife, your life will be amazing.
Say it again, bruh, Charlamagne. You tell him again.
When you do right by your wife, and especially, if you've been a person that wasn't doing right by their wife, you out there messing with a bunch of different women and all that type of stuff. When you cut all of that out and you just focus your energy on that person that you know loves you no matter what, unconditionally, your life will skyrocket.
Why do you say that?
Because it's true. Because I've seen it both ways. I've never seen a guy, cheat on his wife, not be doing right by his wife and have real success. Yeah. Either they're happy or they end up getting a divorce and losing everything, or that other person they're messing with, ruins their life. Like literally ruins their life. And I remember my dad said to me, man, he said, man, one of the worst decisions I ever made was not doing right by your mom. He did end up getting married again, but I do remember him having that conversation with me. And I remember him, because my dad messed me up in a lot of ways. I love him to death, but he did. I remember one time my dad said to me, when I confronted him about cheating on my mom, my dad said to me, "Oh, you only got one girlfriend? One day you gonna understand." And so in my mind, I thought having one girlfriend was a problem. I'm like, I'm supposed to have more than one woman? Because my dad said having one girl is a problem. So then later on in life, my dad tells me, "Hey man, you had it right the whole time."
Yes, you did.
I'll
tell you straight up. Yes, you did.
You had it right the whole time.
But of course, that was that was his experience. That was his lived experience.
Absolutely.
And that's what he understood, right? And it's only when you know better that you can do better.
Yeah, but we got to stop thinking we can cheat the game, because you can't.
No, you cannot cheat the game.
You can't cheat the game.
There is no cheating the game.
No, it's like people who sell drugs. It's like, yo, you know you're going to end up in jail. You know you might end up dead. You can't cheat the game.
No.
And it's the same thing when you're in a relationship. You either going to be committed to that person, right? Men and women, by the way. You either going to be committed to that person and do right by that person, or you not. But if you don't, just know you're going to have to deal with the consequences.
You're going to have to deal with it.
Of not doing right by it.